Every 60 seconds, your heart beats almost once for every breath you take. Steady, reliable, keeping you alive. But one day, you place your fingers on your wrist and feel something strange. A skipped beat, a flutter, or a racing thump that wasn't there before. You think maybe it's stress, maybe it's just age. But what if it's not? What if that tiny change in your pulse is your body's silent cry for help? A warning that something inside your heart's electrical system is slowly breaking down. If you're over 60 and your pulse suddenly speeds up or slows down without reason, then you're watching the right video. Because today, we'll uncover the real reason your heartbeat is changing and what you can do before it's too late. As we age, our hearts don't just get older, they get tired. By the time we hit 60, the natural pacemaker cells inside the heart, called the sinoatrial node, start to wear out. These cells are the spark plugs of your heart. They tell your heart when to beat. But when they lose strength, your heartbeat can become irregular, sometimes too fast, sometimes too slow, and sometimes missing beats altogether. This condition is known as sinus node dysfunction, and it's one of the hidden causes of dizziness, fatigue, and confusion that most seniors mistake for just aging. But the problem doesn't stop there. The heart's electrical wiring, the pathways that carry the signal from the top chambers, atria, to the bottom, ventricles, can also get stiff or scarred with time. Think of it like an old wire that doesn't carry current smoothly anymore. When that happens, your heart can't coordinate its beats properly. Doctors call this heart block, and in severe cases, it can cause fainting or even sudden cardiac arrest. Now here's where it gets more complicated and dangerous. Many seniors are on medications that unintentionally slow the heart down even more. Beta blockers like metoprolol or atenolol, calcium channel blockers like verapamil or diltiazem, and even certain sleeping pills can all reduce heart rate. If your pulse drops below 60 and you feel weak, dizzy, or short of breath, it's not just low energy. It's your heart saying, "I can't keep up anymore." But what about the opposite? When your pulse suddenly races for no reason? That's when atrial fibrillation, or AFib, might be the real culprit. It's the most common arrhythmia after age 60, affecting over 33 million people worldwide. In AFib, the upper chambers of your heart start to quiver instead of contracting properly. It feels like your heart is fluttering, pounding, or skipping beats. Sometimes it lasts for seconds, sometimes hours. But here's the danger. AFib increases your risk of stroke by nearly 5 times. Why? Because the blood that's not pumped efficiently can form clots inside the heart, which can travel to the brain. That's why cardiologists call AFib the silent killer. Now you might be wondering, why does this happen so suddenly after 60? The answer lies in the body's chemistry. As we grow older, our potassium and magnesium levels often drop, especially if we take water pills for blood pressure. These minerals are essential for the electrical rhythm of the heart. Low levels can trigger irregular beats, palpitations, or even sudden pauses in the pulse. Dehydration makes it worse. When your body loses fluid, the blood becomes thicker, the heart has to pump harder, and the pulse becomes erratic. Here's something most people never hear from their doctors. The autonomic nervous system also slows down with age. This is the system that controls your heartbeat automatically, without you thinking about it. When it gets unbalanced, from stress, poor sleep, or certain medications, it can cause your pulse to swing wildly from slow to fast, even while you're resting. Some seniors describe it as, "My heart has a mind of its own." But here's the hopeful part. You can regain control. The first step is awareness. Start checking your pulse daily. You don't need a fancy smartwatch. Just use 2 fingers on your wrist. Count your beats for 30 seconds. Multiply by 2, and note if it feels steady or irregular. If your pulse jumps suddenly or skips often, talk to your doctor about an ECG or Holter monitor test. These simple tests can catch rhythm changes before they become dangerous. Lifestyle plays a huge role too. A heart-healthy diet, rich in leafy greens, nuts, and omega-3 fats, strengthens your cardiac cells. Gentle aerobic exercise like walking, swimming, or yoga improves blood flow and stabilizes the heart's rhythm. Avoid dehydration. Even mild fluid loss can throw your pulse off balance. And remember, excessive caffeine, alcohol, or nicotine can overstimulate your heart's electrical system. Let's talk about stress. When you're under chronic stress, your body releases adrenaline, the hormone that speeds up your heart. Over time, this can retrain your heart to stay in overdrive, leading to faster pulse rates and higher blood pressure. That's why stress management isn't a luxury. It's a heart-saving practice. Breathing exercises, meditation, and simply spending time outdoors can bring your pulse back to balance. There's another silent threat, too. Thyroid problems. An overactive thyroid speeds up your pulse and increases your risk of arrhythmias, while an underactive one slows it down and causes fatigue. That's why every senior should get their thyroid levels checked at least once a year. The symptoms often mimic heart issues, but the fix can be as simple as adjusting your hormone balance. If you've ever felt your heart flutter, skip, or pound for no clear reason, don't ignore it. A changing pulse is one of the earliest warnings that your cardiovascular system needs help. You might not feel pain, but your heart's rhythm tells a story, and it's better to listen early than regret later. One of the most inspiring cases came from a 68-year-old retired teacher who thought she had old age fatigue. After monitoring her pulse, doctors discovered intermittent AFib. With medication, hydration, and light exercise, her rhythm stabilized. And within months, she said, "It's like I got my heartbeat back." The truth is, aging doesn't have to mean losing your rhythm. Your heart has beaten over 2.5 billion times by the time you reach 70. It deserves care, not neglect. Monitor your pulse, manage your stress, and stay consistent with healthy habits. Small daily actions can keep your heart strong, steady, and young at any age. So before you brush off that skipped beat or random flutter, remember, it's not just in your head. It's your body whispering, "Please pay attention." If this video helped you understand your pulse better, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more senior health insights. Because next week, we're revealing the everyday morning habit that silently raises blood pressure. You don't want to miss that one. Stay healthy, stay aware, and remember your heart is still listening.